everybody, here we are, Friday, 2 o'clock, and it's tile number 462. I think I'm going to have, I don't know, shall I go to like ABC now, or just keep going with numbers? Who knows? What have I got today then? I've actually already inked up my tile, as you can see, it's got a bit of decoration on it. What have I done to do that with? Here we go, I've used the Colour Clouds. Oh, here we go, let's just move it up a bit so you can see it a little bit better. Oh, rolled off. Scarlet Woman, love that colour. And I've also mixed it with a little bit of Plum Cobbler. And then I've used a bit of water, spritzed it, and then I've thrown a bit of salt over it and left it to dry completely on its own. And that's what gives that lovely sort of speckled kind of effect. So that's what I've done there. I've got my pen, pencil, Tortillon with me. Now, today I've also got this. You're like, what on earth is that? This is grid 1 from Getting to Grips with Grid Stencil. You don't have to use it, but I'm going to show you how you can and how you don't have to. So don't panic about that if you've not got it, it's fine. So first things first then, I'm coming in with a pencil just to sort of give myself some markings. And what I want to do, if I put my stencil on, it's a bit bigger look than a tile, that's great news. I'm going to sort of line it up, you see, so I've got sort of space all the way around. And what I want to do is I want to do the middle one, leave 2 gaps, the middle one, leave 2 gaps, the middle one, leave 2 gaps, like that. You see? So across the top, if I go a bit darker so you can see it, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, and they're nice and evenly spaced. If you don't have the stencil, you can still do it. You can put your dots either side, and then you can sort of gauge where you're going to put those 2. So if I sort of do this side, look, you can kind of gauge, dot there, look. And then let's have a look. 1 there, and 1 there. You see? Same sort of thing. Let's have a look at that, see how close I was. Woohoo, not far off. That end one, let's have a look. That end one is a little bit further off, but that's not bad going. Look at that. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. The idea is, let's have a look there. And I'm going to do the same up here. So see, I've gone 1, 2. So I've missed 2, put a dot, 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 missed 2. So I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 across the top there, 4 there, look, 4 there, 4 there. So that's how I've split it, because when I join it, and I'm going to do this nice and lightly, I should have 9 boxes, okay? I say you can do this completely without the grid. It just makes life a little bit easier sometimes to have that grid in place. And I know a lot of you have got that, so it's nice to actually see it used, because I try and avoid using stencils if I can when we do these tiles, but sometimes it's just nice to see them, isn't it? Okay, so that just gives me my nice even boxes there. As I say, you can do it slightly differently, it's fine. Okay, so I'm going to come in and focus on, if it'll let me, there you go, one of the spaces. Here we go. And inside here, I want to put a cross like that. 1 there, look. And 1 there like that. Okay? I'm going to do that in every single one of those boxes. So what you can do, again, look, is you can actually come down and create your lines that way, you see, if you want to. And then that way. So you're sort of mass producing, I would say. You're not sort of faffing about. Well, if you want to do one at a time, that's fine. Okay, so each little box has got 4 little squares inside it. Look at that one. That was a bit wonky, wasn't it? That's better. Look at the state of that. Well, that's okay, because it's in pencil, so we can rub it out. All right. Same here, look. Well, I just want you to be aware that there are 9 boxes. Everything else we're putting guides in, okay? So it doesn't matter which box we start with. Let's go with this one. So you see, I'm going to ignore this one here. And let's have a look. I'm going to find about the middle, there, 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 and there, okay? And then I'm going to come in with pen. And first things first, it doesn't matter which way we start, because if I take each of my little squares, I'm going to go that way, You see, from that point to the corner. And I'm going to do the same that way, look, that point to the corner. All right. Same here, look, from that point to the corner. That point. There.
One's in the car.
So, same sort of thing now. I'm going to come out here, look. And then in there. So I'm using those dots to create a bit of a shape. Like that. You see? So we can do the same on the others now. Now, if you want to do this in pencil, you can come back in, look, you can line it up if you want. You can do it by eye. See, putting those 4 points in. And then look, each one, so I'm going to go here to here. Same with this one. And that one. And here. So I'm going to get a new shape in the middle there. Okay, so again, if you want to, you can always come in and use your pen. I've got little dots, see, so I know where I'm going to. And same again, that one. And then that one. It's quite a nice little shape, actually. It's just a little bit different than keeping it as a square. And same with that one. Okay, so I'm going to do the same all the way down here. So I think what I'm going to do now I've got the idea of it and I know where my little shapes are going, I could come back in and I could put all those little marks on ready. So I can then just focus on joining the dots basically. Okay, got a little bit of sparkle there. I've still got a bit of salt on it. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so same again, look, there, like that. So I'm doing exactly the same shape, so to speak, in each of these little squares, but they just look a bit different because they're kind of mirrored. Yeah. And another. So we've not done a grid for quite a bit. So I thought we'd do one for a change. I know some of you out there love these. You know what, and if you don't, you think grids are not for me, you could perhaps just do one and have this as big as the tile and then add a little bit more detail in it that way. So you're kind of just using the first 4 squares and then you can enhance it a little bit as we go. So you don't have to do this. It's kind of nice though, isn't it, for a change? Let's go with this one. Right, so working my way around, just joining those dots. Easy, isn't it, when you've got something to work to? A little bit of structure to that one. Same again, look. To there. And again, you get into that kind of flow, so each sort of shape starts to formulate without you really thinking about it. Let's do one more, look, and see where we're at. So we should have 9 of these. I know I have, so as long as you've got sort of an even number, or as I say, it doesn't matter, you could just do 4 or a single one. Let's have a little look. There we go. Look at that. So far, so good. All right, next little bit then. And again, if you want to do this in pencil, it's up to you. Because what I want to do now is I want to create a little box inside this shape here. So let's just do that in pencil to start with. So I'm going to use that mark there, look, that mark there. And turn it round and look at that mark and that mark, you see? Hence a box. Let's go in a little bit more. I don't want me to, there you go, you see? So if I was to put that now, and I'm going to do it freehand. There. So you see, using those lines to help me. And there. Like that. You see how they're touching? Got a box in it. So, again, it's entirely up to you if you would prefer to do that in pencil first. See, I'm going to do all my verticals that way. see? And that way, so again, I'm using that as my sort of marker, like so. Same with this one, let's have a look. There. And there. So then, same again. So, you know, you could just do one at a time. Or being that, you know, you're already in this position, you can make it work, you see? And that one. Right, let's have a look at where we're at so far. So I know they're all slightly different sizes, but that's because I didn't measure from the centre out when I did my first shapes. And it doesn't matter. It's all going to be part of the same design, so it's fine. You can measure it if you prefer, but, you know, let's go freehand. And this way. Again, using that as a little bit of a guide. I'm going to come all the way down and do these first. See, if you miss it, you can, so I'm going to put that in there. You could always bring that down to match if you want to. See, so I could do that. And bring it down to join it. Yeah, it all works. This one. And there. And again, you could use a straight edge if you wanted to get them all the same. There we go. Alright, so far so good. Okay, so now we've done those little boxes. I'm going to do a box in a box. So again, look. Keep it quite close. And a box in a box like that. Alright, it's like a little frame. So as before, you know, I could come down and do all the verticals on that one and turn it round and do that way. See, I could even take that all the way down, look. Just sort of creating that little frame shape. See one there, look. Down there. Sometimes, you know, it's nice to do a grid because you don't have to really think about it. Once you've got the basic shape, it's all repetitive. So if you really need a moment that you don't have to think, where am I going to put that piece? It's everyone is in pretty much the same position. So less time to think too much, see? And again, let me just check, because there's a couple of them that I've not put lines in. But there we go. Okay. Okay, so still want this little bottom, or this corner or centre point. Let's have a look at it. Let's go for one we can see. See, look here, look. In the middle there. Because what I want to do now is create myself a little sort of leafy shape that goes underneath that first one. You see, like that. And then I'm going to put a little one on the top. See? So whilst it's in this position, you might as well do that as well. See, there, and then there. And again, I think I prefer doing one like that first and then putting that one in, rather than sort of doing like that. I want to make sure that I've got that shape in first, and then that shape. Okay, let's just move down a little bit. So I've got that. Okay, so again, I'm going to go from the middle of each one. All right, and then put that one in. And again. And you know, if you were happy with pencil, or you want to use a different colour, that's fine. And then this one, see, it's always going to that centre point within the shape there. Same with this one. And then of course, we've got those on the edges, like that. So next one down then. And it doesn't matter which order you do this in. It's all about a little bit of muscle memory again, isn't it? So getting used to that size and doing those bits. And and then you can come back in and do the smaller ones. We're sort of doing 2 steps in one. Turn it round, look. Again. I find sometimes my pen doesn't join, you know, line to line. In my head it does, but actually physically it doesn't. So sometimes I want to take a little bit more care to make sure that happens. So I know that it's definitely joined the line. Certainly there, look, you see where you're going underneath. I don't want to go over it, but I want to make sure I've actually got it there. Okay, I'm going to do all the big ones first. And then I'll come back and do the little ones. See, look there, look. Just join it. And one more. And I'll lock. And that one. And then do the little ones. So they make a little pattern on their own as well. It's amazing how you can start getting these little designs sort of all coming together. So I have to do this one. All on its own there. So larger pieces and then little ones. And of course, let's have a look at these. So the larger ones first. Again, I'm just going to make sure everything's joined up just as it needs to be. And a lock. And then little ones there. And there. And so join that. And then take my lines back in. And a lock. And the next one. And lock. You see, it's then putting that one on the bottom. Okay. And this one. Too crazy to think how many tiles we've actually done. And I hope that you look through them now and again and just admire your consistency over completing these and sticking with me. I mean, I know some of you might have only just joined, or you might have thought, well, I'm just going to do every 10th tile. That's quite a nice way of doing it. Don't think you've got to start at the beginning. You know, pick one you like the look of and do that one. Yeah, or sometimes just pick a random number and then find it and do that one. Okay, for that. All right. So let's have a look at these little shapes in the middle now. And let's start on this top row. We're starting in the middle. I'm going to follow the line. I'm going to come up and put a curl like that. And then the other side up and put a little curl. Just imagine this one actually as a quilt. I know that sounds crazy. Quilts on the brain at the minute. But this would be lovely, wouldn't it? As fabric. Maybe? Who knows? All right. So if I turn it round, I can do the same again. Up and along. Up and along. This is easy, isn't it? I think that you find it easier to do one side than the other. So if you want to go down the road of doing all of them on one side first, it's fine. And the next one. Along. And along. And then this way. Okay, almost look like little butterflies, don't they, I suppose? You know, with little antennae. And this one. So this one will be all around the edge. And then we'll have a look at what we're going to do in the middles. And go from there. Now we've got the idea of what we're doing. This pattern's relatively straightforward, okay? So let's have a look at this one then. So if I imagine, just for a moment, let's put the grid on for a moment, that there you go, there's my box, okay? So if I then come in and put the curls there, just like I did on the top, like that, see? And I might as well go along, and I'll do this one. like that. And then I come along and do this one. See, so I've got rows along. So let's look at the next one. And again, let me just put something in its way so I've got those boxes. So I can come along and do that one. I think sometimes it helps, doesn't it, having something covering the rest of it up so it doesn't look too intimidating. You can sort of focus on little bits, you see? So I've got that row, and that row done. So if I turn it this way, I've got the top row. So now can we see it, look? There and there. So we're going to come in and put those curls in that one, like that. And then this one. And this one. And then if we go to the next row, you see here, look. So again, this row. And then along here. And into this one. Okay, so if I turn it again, you see I've got my top row in ready. So now I've got this one. So again, if we look at it, you see, so I'm just looking at the top of that box. So now this is going to join with that one, look. And again, it's going to create a little shape there. So follow the lines just as before. Just because they're there now doesn't mean it's any different. Okay. And then this row. Like that. So they're joining, you see. And then this one. Okay, so one more, turn it round again. I've got my 3 across the top. So joining those there. I think we've got the hang of this now. And this one. And then of course the spaces that are left. Into there. And that one. Okay. So the little shapes inside those, you've got like these little diamonds. I'm going to come in and fill them in, look. You see, they're not too big, so I'm going to stick with my 03 pen. And let's have a look at that one there. So if they're a little bit of an odd shape, it doesn't matter. You know, it's been done by hand, so. And that one. Along we go. So we've got that. Look at that. Who'd have thought we just started with 9 little boxes? It's crazy, isn't it? I'm going to join those again. Yeah. Okay. So sort of next little step, we've got a choice now. You could either come in with some colour or we could actually use a bit more black ink. I'm going to come in with my 05 pen, making it a little bit easier for me to colour. And I want to look at these first sort of leafy shapes that we did underneath. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, let's sort of have a look at just doing part of it and leaving a border. See? Now, because I've got my 05, you know, just take your time with this. Maybe you want to draw the borders first. But it just makes life a little bit easier filling it in, see? Like that. See, look at the difference that's made. And this one. Again, coming in. Into there. It's just got that little bit of drama in it, hasn't it? So let's have a look. I'm going to do all those. Now again, if you want to draw it all first and then come back and fill it in after, you can do so. But I think I'm going to fill it in as I go. See where I've been then. So we've got this. Got 9 of these shapes. We've got 4 shapes within the 9. 36. Seems like a lot, but it goes ever so quickly. Yeah, it won't take you long at all. Just enjoy it. It's nice to do a bit of colouring on one, even if it's with a black ink pen. It's fine. See, I'm going to go down the lines as well. Again, a little bit of muscle memory kicking in here. Let's do this one. I know some of us love the flourishes and the abstract little pieces, but I think sometimes bringing a grid in just sort of balances things, and you could use part of this as a background maybe, and then put flowers and things in front of it. There's numerous ways a grid can be used. Add into that. You see, sort of taking each one as it comes. Don't need to think about whether they're all the same, because it doesn't matter. Just depends what shape you've got in front of you, really. Do that one. And this one. So they're sort of in parts. It really shows now that that little frame's above everything. We'll do some shading in a moment, and that'll show it even more, hopefully. Into that one. Okay, so I've got to come this way now and do a few. So we've done all of those, so you can see here that this one needs dealing with. Okay. And then this one. And there we go. Okay. And along. Then to the next one. Into this bit. So look, this one here. You know, just make sure that your ink's dry as well. You don't want to be smudging it anywhere. Just to be sure. Yeah, look at that. How different. So not only have you sort of got this little motif here, you've also got this one, which has created something a little bit different. And of course you could come in, oh look, I've missed one. You could come in and fill those in and colour those little droplets as well, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to come in and put like a little bubble in the middle, just to make sure we know that they're joined together. In the middle there. That's it. Right, let's have a look at a little bit of shading. So, regular pencil, although you can add colour onto this if you want to. And I'm going to choose, let's have a look. 2 sides. Oh, look, I've missed one. Where's Janet when you need it to tell me I've missed one? There you go. Always do it. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to pick 2 sides. It could be, it's got to be though, left, right. Sorry, it's got to be top left or top right or bottom. So it can't be like this one and this one. And this one and this one, they've got to be joined. So for example, I'm going to go left and top. Okay, so now I'm going to do that on every single one. Now notice today, I'm not rubbing out any of those construction lines because they're really light. I don't need to. All right, they're not going to detract from anything. Okay, so see, look, I'm doing left and top on every one. So they're all the same. Okay. All right, so that focuses on those there. So what I want to do now is I'm going to come in, and where I did left and top, I'm going to do bottom and right, but I'm going to go inside the square. Okay. So opposite sides now, but inside the square. Same with this one. This one. So all of them are the same in terms of shading anyway. Okay, let's get our tortillon out and give those a bit of a blend. So just back and forth. I don't want to sort of spread it too far. And I might as well do the inside at the same time. So again, look, left and top, bottom and right. Well, you can do it any way you like. You don't have to keep with it, but I think sometimes when you get that flow going, you do find that you sort of want to do it all in the same direction. Okay. So no swooshing, no swirling today. More or less back and forth, straight lines. And as we go. Okay. And again, to those and into that one. So we've got that one definitely sort of standing out. So I'm going to come back to my pencil and I'm going to look at these shapes here. So you see, I'm not going to touch this bit. I'm going to add some pencil here. So just on the sides, like that. Okay, not too much. We don't want to get carried away, like that. So let's do another one. So I'm not touching the shape in the middle. I'm just going to the sides of it. And even when I get to the edges, I'm going to do the same thing, so just part of it. See, even in those corners. So, a little bit, just a little bit. Like that. Okay. See, it just sort of starts to bring it forward a little bit. One there, look. And that side. And then this one. Okay. See, just little bits. Working along. Into those. Okay. Tortillon once more. So because they're kind of small, you just sort of want to gently sort of push it into the shape. Don't want to overdo it again. Just want like a little gesture almost. See? And there we go. So there, you know, it's going to sort of work its way into some of those shapes, I know, but that's okay. Just want that little bit of something there. There you are. So you just sort of bring it in. And I suppose this is going to look completely different if you do it on a plain piece of cardstock. Because I've inked around mine, I've already got colour there. So the shading is great and it helps. But it's not kind of the be all and end all of it. You've got little bits there that, you know, you can get away with a bit easier when you've got a bit of colour on your paper. All right. Okay, so I'm going to bring a little bit of black coloured pencil in now. And what I want to do is on my left and top, I want to add a little bit of black. So if we do my lefts first, look. Might as well, it's all sort of comfy there. I can do them all in the same position. Okay, and then same again, look. So because I've turned it, it looks like it's left now, but it's all they're all the same. There we go. And I'm going to do the same on the inside as well. Because that shading's there, I don't have to think I've got to try and blend this or anything. It's just adding some more darkness to it. And you can do this with the fine liner pen if you want to. But this is just giving it a little bit softer, isn't it? Okay. I'm going to choose a colour now. On here I've got a little bit of purple and a little bit of a pinky colour. So I'm going to sort of emulate that. Let's have a look. So I've got, let's have a look, mid-pink purple. I'll use mid-pink purple there. And I'm actually going to bring in the Sanntangle red. Okay, so I've just got the two colours. I'm not going to blend these in any way, shape or form. What I'm going to do is I'm going to colour those bits in. So where I've kind of got my purple ink, I'm doing my purpley bits. Okay, so those bits, mostly those bits actually. And then I'm going to switch to my Sanntangle red. Or maybe I'll do purple there, look. They're quite small, so there's no need to blend them. It's just adding that little bit of colour. Just brings it out a little bit. So there's quite a lot of little elements on this. And everywhere you look, you're going to find something a little bit different. And hopefully you're going to enjoy drawing it. So here we go. A couple more to do. There we go. Let's have a little look. All right. So when you think we started with a few dots and then a few little lines, it's quite amazing how things work out, isn't it? And of course, if I hadn't to put my shading around my squares and put it around these shapes, these would have been more prominent. So it's a little bit of a playing, playing tricks with your mind a little bit there. So it's one of those how to do it and which way to go. You could perhaps try it a couple of ways and do different shading on different pieces. Who knows? So there we go. There's our tile for the day. And, you've got all weekend to have a bit of a practice and see how you get on with it. And, of course, if you're around and about over the weekend, you might be sick of the sight of me. I'm on Hobby Maker at 1, I think it's 4 and 7 on Saturday afternoon. And I'll be on Sewing Street because they're doing Christmas at Sewing Street. And I'm going to be doing some there. I can't remember the times on that one, honestly. I'm sure Chris has put the times up, but I've got 2 shows on there. I think it's 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock, I think. So if you're into your sewing and you want to see some of that, I'm on there. If you're into your paper crafts, then I'm on Hobby Maker on Saturday. So other than that, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy this. Have a little play with it. Let me know how you get on. And, send some messages in to Hobby Maker or Sewing Street if you can. Send us some pictures of things you've made. And other than that, I will see you back here as usual at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. So until then, take care. See you soon. All right, everybody. Bye.